So today we're going to hear Assembly Bill 109, the Budget Act of 2026. I also will note that we have several revenue trailer bills related to the budget in print, the details of which are still being worked on, and we may bring those for a hearing later in the week. But today's hearing is focused on the legislative budget agreement. Assembly Bill 109 represents a budget plan that includes approximately $355.9 billion in total spending, $253 billion of which is in the general fund. It's balanced for both 2026 and 27 and 27-28 fiscal years. It maintains $36.5 billion in combined total reserves, responsibly budgeting for economic security in future years.
And so beginning on the first page, some of this the chair has already stated, but the legislative agreement includes a total of $253 billion in general fund spending, and notably it includes the assumption of a higher level of resources. Specifically, this includes around $5.5 billion of higher revenues being assumed in this package than the May revision, and it also makes a somewhat smaller transfer to the temporary surplus holding account, which provides also frees up resources. So in total, there's about $8 billion in additional resources under the legislative agreement relative to the May revision. And with that, the legislative package makes some different spending and budget choices. And so as a result of that, even with the higher level of resources, at the end of the day, the budget condition is broadly very similar to the budget condition that we saw in the May revision. As the chair referenced, there are about $20 billion in the budget stabilization account and special fund for economic uncertainty combined. Those are two of the main reserves. And then also there's $9.5 billion in the Proposition 98 reserve as well.
I mean, we worked really hard to assure that there are real investments in affordable housing and in preventing and ending homelessness in the state. And this budget proposal goes a long way towards assuring that we can build tens of thousands of housing units that are already in the queue for affordable housing in California that have everything that they need except for the last few dollars. This budget is a strong statement, but also a strong investment in order to unlock that. So this isn't exactly the budget that I would write. I know that's true for the budget chair as well. But it advances the critical goals and values that we've been articulating all year long in our budget subcommittees and in the House.
As one of the only 4 minority Republican committee members, I need to make my position known on this budget that is being proposed. The supermajority claims this budget is balanced, but that claim is simply not true. This budget assumes revenues that are approximately $5 billion higher than previous projections, and relies on future tax increases that will make California even less affordable and families affordable for the families and the businesses. Rather than providing certainty, this budget leaves significant decisions unsolved. It is an incomplete baseline budget with the major policy and the funding details still to be negotiated. Californians deserve a transparent budget process. Unfortunately, this year's process has fallen short of that standard. As a member of Budget Subcommittee number 2 on resources, environmental protection and energy, I was unable to support several cap and invest proposals because critical funding allocations and the policy decisions had not yet been finalized. Even though my understanding is that separate legislation is still being circulated to revise portions of the agreement before us today. That raises serious questions about whether legislators and the public have a complete picture of the budget they are being asked to approve.
But there are a lot of cons to this. Number one, it relies on new taxes. People are taxed out, and a lot of those taxes fall on businesses. And it's not just businesses. When businesses are taxed, they have to raise prices in order to cover their losses or their taxes as well. So in an era where we're talking about trying to decrease the cost of living, all of what we're doing seems to be increasing the cost of living. One of the things that sticks in my craw is the $225 million more to help the Department of Transportation, Caltrans, achieve the goal of becoming the greenest fleet in the nation. That's not their goal. Their goal is to build roads and infrastructure so that we can get around. And when we're spending $225 million more dollars, this is in addition to the billions that they've already, spent. So they could buy equipment that is all electric, that is 3 times as expensive, that wears out in half the time, so that they can build us some roads. We have interchanges, we have roadways, we have dangerous highways out there that this $225 million can fix. They have a program for replacing their equipment. Their equipment should be replaced with reasonably priced equipment. And if they can make it green, that's great. If they can't, it can't. But having that as our goal for Caltrans, the cleanest fleet in the nation, when we're 49th in building roads and maintaining the roads that we have, that's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous.